Hey, what's up guys? We're back again to power up our plays with the best Pekka deck in Clash Royale. The player limit reached over 8,600 trophies on ladder using this deck. And that was before the Executioner got buffed. So now there's a ton of people in the top 200 trying this out and having great success. If you can get to double or triple elixir, your opponent will never break through your Inferno Dragon, Executioner Tornado, and Pekka defense. This deck keeps you safe no matter what your opponent has, as long as you play patiently and save enough elixir. If you play ladder for a long time, you know that there's a lot of obnoxious losses. But this deck allows you to take control of the game and take your opponent's trophies. Just play passive and defend until double elixir, and then when your opponent goes and spams into you and you have a Pekka counter pushing, going for a graveyard freeze, the graveyards completely surround their tower, the freeze holds all their stuff in place, and they'll have to face the fact that you've done a disastrous amount of damage. It's a super simple Pekka deck to play, so let's go jump straight to some games and assert dominance. Thanks to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. Alright, so this deck is really good in double and triple elixir, not so much in single when you can't afford your Pekka and Executioner and Tornado. It just costs a lot of money, and I'm sorry, we don't have that in single.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Wait, that's a super easy king tower activation. That's really far back. What are you doing? That is the best possible placement for us. Like, usually you would drop it in the super safe spot, but he went extra risky. He's just like, I'm spending all my elixir lavishly like a wild child. And the best thing is, like, if you're able to deduce where the Goblin Barrel is going, looking at the shadows of the Goblin Barrel, you'll always be able to stop that for a good trade. Oh, he's going to have Rocket too. I guess in this particular matchup, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world countering a Mighty Miner. I want to go drop the Executioner in the middle, so if he clicks the ability, then it's going to still stay on the Executioner, and it's not going to go towards my tower and ruin me. Really dislike when that happens. I could Graveyard, but I could also go in for a Freeze. I'm thinking Freeze might be the play, because if the Dark Prince and the Executioner can lock onto the tower, that's a lot of value for me. I don't think he's back to Mighty Miner. So the Executioner, please. Oh, that was such a good log on his end. Credit where credit is due. If you hadn't dropped that log and knocked back the Executioner and hit the Dark Prince, would have been a pretty good play for us then. Ooh, the Electric Spirit's going to be able to clean up the rest of the goblins. So I think if you drop it off to the side, I can stop at least one of the goblin hits and then get a good trade overall. But this is one of those matchups, if you're playing against a log bait deck, it isn't going to be the easiest thing in the world. Usually you want to use your Inferno Dragons to go and snipe the princesses, because if they're going to run Mighty Miner, they're not going to have like as many great answers to this. I could Tornado that back to the Inferno Dragon, lost onto the tower, please. Let's go! That was so sick. I'm a Sinister Sir, and that felt fantastic. So here's the thing. He's likely going to go in for a Goblin Barrel, so we want to make a prediction with the Dark Prince so that we can hit all the goblins. It didn't work out as planned. It did not work out as planned, and now he's laughing at me. He's like, Jake, you're an idiot. You're cycling your Dark Prince into an Inferno Tower. But then he goes in for the Goblin Barrel afterwards. So you guys can see what I was aiming to do, but it didn't really work out as planned. Anyway, the Dark Prince is going to get absolutely obliterated by the Inferno Tower. We know he's going to go in for a Princess.
Mission failed.
I guess I'm going to go in for a Peck in the back. He's not dropping it at the river. He thought that it was too predictable, so that's why he didn't do it. He's always switching it up on us. I think he's going to go in for an Inferno Tower with Mighty Miner. So two amazing cards to counter the Pekka, which isn't necessarily a great vibe for me, but I think we'll roll with what we got. I'm going to Inferno Dragon on top of the Princess, and if the Pekka can punch that tower, then maybe we can make something happen here. Okay, that's going to get shut down by an Electric Spirit and the Dark Prince. You're not going to get a single hit. That's good. We vibe with that. He doesn't know that I don't have freeze in cycle, so he has to go for guards, and he freaks out. That's dope. That was a lot more elixir than he would want to spend. And then he's going to go in because he knows that I have to drop an Executioner, and that spends almost all my elixir. I'm going to go in for a freeze on top of the Ice Spirit and the guards. Maybe the Dark Prince can connect to the tower. No, he gets a Mighty Miner down, but the skeletons are swarming him. Okay. All right, you know, I mess with this. I vibe with this. This isn't too bad yet. The answer is always going to be going in for Executioners when you get the chance, and then maybe we can lock onto the tower, or maybe get him in an inconvenient card cycle for part 7. Wait, how is the Executioner still alive? I don't understand how the Executioner is alive, but it's getting pushed closer to the tower, and then the Ice Spirit's going to die. The Executioner is still alive? Dude, the Executioner is not dying right now. We can freeze on top of the Princess, and we do not hit the Mighty Miner, but that's a lot of damage with the skeletons. Let's go! I can't believe I just won that game. That was unbelievably satisfying. GG and well played to Nick, and, you know, let's see where we are in the world. Beating a log bait deck with Mighty Miner and Inferno Tower when you don't even have a good Goblin Barrel counter in your deck, like without having Barb Barrel and Log, you usually lose those matchups. But I guess when you have Tornado and you have Dark Prince and Electric Spirit, you'll have enough makeshift answers. And after that juicy win, now we're 7,300 in the world. We got a game against Crossboy. What's up? Just gonna drop a good luck and figure out what your deck is. Obviously, We want to make sure that we make the most of our deck. We don't want to be making the first play. We want to get the counter push life all day, every day. Maybe we're going to be able to stop all the goblins. They should just lock onto the Pekka, and that's going to be a 4 elixir down the drain for just some measly goblin drill damage on my tower. You didn't get much from it. Okay, so goblin drill and golden knight makes me feel like you probably will have cannon and magic archer and something along those lines. Wait, he's going to have executioner. We can pull that closer and finish off the skeletons. Wait, this is going so well. The fact that the golden knight ran away as well was hilarious because I think that's going to get one tapped. Oh, I was optimistic. I'm still going to Inferno Dragon so then I don't have to spend another elixir with the Electro Spirit to counter it. At least the Inferno Dragon gives us counter push and he won't have skeletons in cycle. So as long as he doesn't have E-Wiz. Please don't have E-Wiz. Wait. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's go! He wasn't ready! I love it. Here's the best part. The Inferno Dragon is able to kill the cannon card too. No way! We roasted and toasted this man. So, you know what? With a minute and 50 seconds remaining, all I have to do is drop a Dark Prince every single time he goes in for a Goblin Drill. And then he loses because the Dark Prince, it can't get pulled by the Tornado very effectively. And if you decide to go in for a Golden Knight, it's not going to do that much damage because it's going to go into the Dark Prince instead. So I can either use my Executioner to kill the goblins, or I can use my Dark Prince, and either situation, it's going to be fine. Executioner is able to do absurd splash damage, and then the Dark Prince, if you fireball it, it's not going to get pushed away. Same thing with Snowball, and same thing with Tornado. So it's pretty much immune to all of the spells. One of the best cards in the game to counter Goblin Drill. That was an incredibly easy win. We just Tornado all of his stuff back and then freeze, and he'll never be able to attack. This deck is destructive on defense, and when you get a lead, you're going to keep it for the rest of the game. And after that win, we are 6,400 in the world. So a ton of people were wondering, why would you ever have Electro Spirit in a graveyard deck where you can activate King Tower with the Electro Spirit? Well, you don't cycle your Electro Spirit in the back, you never cycle it at the river, you only use it on defense to counter your opponent's counters to your Pekka. So let's say they go in for an Inferno Dragon, an Inferno Tower, you can reset that with the Electro Spirit and get a lot of value. If they've got bait cards with the Miner, then you can always shut down the bats with the Electro Spirit as well. So that's just something to keep in mind, that the Electro Spirit is primarily used to protect your Pekka and your big pushes that are coming at your opponent, and also in conjunction with Tornado, it can finish off like minions. So there's a lot of different things that your Electro Spirit's capable of. One of the things it's not capable of is cycling it at the river like a lot of people are used to when they're running a fast cycle deck. It operates way differently in this deck. So maybe we can go in for a graveyard since there's a lot of Spear Goblins that are coming at us, but they should get eviscerated by the Executioner. You know what? I don't have Elixir for that. As I said before, you're super poor in single, but when in double, your stocks are going to soar. Maybe I can go in for freeze here. Doesn't seem like it's going to be that good for me because obviously I'm sure that you guys know Giant Skeleton is a very strong card in Clash Royale, and it's going to be able to kill everything. With a Hunter and Giant Skeleton, he was able to shut down our entire offense of Executioner and Pekka, which is not something that I wanted to see because we're currently down 1,000 damage. I think he's played pretty okay, but I don't know if he deserved that much. If I go Graveyard into the Spear Goblin Hut, I think he's going to be able to defend it with another bait card that I haven't seen yet, and then he'll just be able to get all the Skeleton Souls as well with the Skeleton King, and then I'd probably lose the game. So you want to be really patient when you know that your opponent can punish you. I'm going to go for a really nice Tornado here and pull that to the King Tower, and I'm going to have to get one of the Goblins on my tower, but it's not that big of a deal. Electro Spirit can kill bats, it can kill skeletons, it doesn't kill Spear Goblins, so you need the help of your tower, or you're not going to have any power. I could go in for an Electro Spirit here and make sure it chains onto the Spear Goblins now, because if we can kill the Spear Goblins and have it chain onto the tower, that'd be awesome. Let's go! And now the Spear Goblins get one shot by the tower, so it worked out. And the Hunter's not going to give him too much value. The difficulty arises when we know that he's going to go in for a Goblin Barrel, and I can't like necessarily always stop it with the Dark Prince. We played against Logbait before, and now Clash Royale's like, Jake, we're going to give you a tougher one now. Maybe I can do this, and then go in for a Graveyard on the right-hand side. I don't know if he has a good answer to that. If he loses... You know, oh, yeah, he had Skeleton Army. I kind of forgot about that as a possibility. You can go in for Skeleton King and then go and mirror it up again. Yeah, that's kind of what we were hoping wouldn't happen, to be honest. But I did activate King Tower, so maybe we're able to just eat a lot and go in for another big push in the right-hand side when he's down Elixir. So that's what I'm going for, with just eating a ton of damage. It's literally like the worst way of playing Clash Royale, but it's the only option I have available for myself. I think the Executioner should be just able to finish off the rest of the Spear Goblins, and the Inferno Dragon's going to counter push, so this is a Hail Mary. If this doesn't work, I lose the game. This is everything that I have right now. Will it work, or will it be a desperate attempt and result in failure? We know we're going to have to go in for a freeze again. Wait, the skeletons are surrounding the tower. Please let me come back in this game. This matchup is miserable right now. No way. He's going to go Goblin Barrel for sure on the left-hand side, so I have to go in for a Graveyard and I did predict the Goblin Barrel, so I made a great play, and it one-shots the entire Goblin Barrel because I went in for the Dark Prince at the right timing. I think I can Tornado here. I'm just going to Tornado everything back. I need one Skeleton hit. That's all I need. Let's go, guys. That matchup is so darn tough, simply because he's got Mirror Goblin Barrel. The regular Goblin Barrel wasn't too bad for us because we could always shut down with the Dark Prince, maybe use an Electric Spirit. But I had to make a ton of predictions to win that game. Very satisfying ending, but a lot of stress along the way. Top 5,700 in the world, baby. All right, so we got a game against the Dark Soldier, and he is marching off to war immediately, going in for a Goblin Barrel. He's a fighting sir. I hate the fact that we've played against so many Logbait players. This is literally the most difficult matchup for our deck. Because we don't have a small spell, I have to outplay them every single time to win. No! Okay. All right. I mean, maybe the Executioner is going to do something, but it's likely going to get Mighty Minored. Okay, wait. We can go for Electric Spirit here. It's going to have the Ice Spirit version. That's so much more obnoxious. Because Ice Spirit's going to be able to stun our stuff way longer. The Fire Spirit isn't going to do near as much as the Ice Spirit would into our Inferno Dragons. So, what can we do here? If I go for a Pekka in the back, he's likely going to just rocket it. But if I just stand idly by, I'm also not going to be a very happy sir. Okay, we can Tornado that directly in the middle and take no damage, so that's always a good vibe. But I'm spending 3 Elixir, and he's spending 3 Elixir. And because he's got a Cycle deck, it's not necessarily going to bode very well for me. He likely Mighty Miners directly on top of the huge, hefty Pekka. So if I go in for an Inferno Dragon, I can probably kill that, but now he's going to go in for a Pekka instead, or a Pekka counter instead of a cannon. Okay, we can Inferno Dragon to snipe the Princess, and I think that's worthwhile, because the Inferno Dragon doesn't cross the river. We're getting him to go in for an Ice Spirit before he should. You know what? I'll take that trade. You know what? I'm going to eat that as well. I'm going to try to go head over heels with our Inferno Dragon, because there's only one way I win this matchup, and it's you overcommitting like that. So I need to freeze this as well, and guarantee that we kill the Mighty Miner, so then you don't get any counter push with it. And meanwhile, your Princess is doing a bajillion damage. So as you guys can see, we did outplay him. We found an opportunity that he slipped an Inferno Dragon on through, and he thought that he could get it. But we're still not in a good spot because the Electric Spirit isn't able to clean up every single one of the goblins. I take a lot of damage in the process. Please, Dark Prince, give me some value. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I am the Dark Prince Whisperer out here.
And I think he's kind of wanting to give me the win out here, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Okay, I could go in for a Graveyard since we have the Inferno Dragon still alive, and I feel like it's a comfortable position for us to be in since his only good answer is going to be Princess, and then I can freeze on all of his junk here as well. I wasn't able to hit the Mighty Miner, so he might click the bomb ability, but let's go. That's a lot of value, baby. Okay, I think we just let that roll. There's no reason for me to defend that and go into a Mighty Miner. It's just not a good play. However, he's probably going to click the ability, so I'm going to go in for an Executioner and then Electric Spirit and then make sure that we're able to finish that off. He's spending so much freaking Elixir. I think Inferno Dragon is probably the wave. So I'm going to Inferno Dragon and just cycle those as many as I can. And then going for a Tornado here on top of the Ice Spirit so it doesn't jump onto my tower. If the Ice Spirit jumps on my tower, I'm screwed. So I'm just going to keep that real with you guys real quick. For a Dark Prince, and then going for an Executioner if I need to, and I definitely do. I'm an Electric Spirit afterward. I don't think that the Mighty Miner is going to tank for too long since the Executioner is still alive. I can Inferno Dragon to kill his princesses, hopefully. We'll see if this works out. So if I Inferno Dragon in the middle and then I've got Freeze, one of the princesses will die. Is he going to have a bad time? I think so. Let's go, baby. Freeze coming down, and his defenses are rock solid frozen. And that is one of the best W's I've had in a while. The fact that we play against miserable matchups of Logbait 3 times today and win every single one, what more could we ask for? Let's see if we can keep it up. You guys already know the deal. We're kind of hoping that he throws down a lot of stuff in single Elixir. And if he doesn't, maybe we just wait, chill, relax until double, and then collect a free matchup advantage. That's what I'm aiming for. Oh, come on, man. If you Tombstone, you're kind of making me use my Elixir advantage since the Tombstone isn't going to be able to distract the Dark Prince that easily, and you're likely going to be playing a Lava Hound deck. Wait, if you're playing Lava Hound, I'm not going to support that Dark Prince. I'm just going to let that thing roll towards your tower, and then cycle an Inferno Dragon on the same side as the Mega Minion. Let's go! I held that Inferno Dragon until the last possible second, and then this guy overzealously spammed his Elixir into us. That's beautiful. He's going to Fireball too, not knowing that we have Executioner, and then I can Electric Spirit to retarget and reset the Mega Minion for a split second, and the Executioner is able to finish off the Lava Hound, so then if it finishes off the Lava Hound, it also damages down the pups there too. Super stellar stuff for us, and that's what I'm talking about, because we can activate King Tower quite easily with this balloon. After it gets one hit, then you go in for the Tornado to pull it, and I don't think he has any way of stopping this. I just gonna tell you guys straight up, if I had Pekka at the river, he might have Inferno Dragoned it, but if I Graveyard, you can't stop an Executioner plus a Graveyard on the tower. There's no one card in your deck that's able to counter all of that. and we walked away with a ton of damage on the 3 crown and a king tower activation. So maybe this guy gave up in the game. I don't know. I'm going to try to 3 crown him and see if he cares. While Graveyard piles up the skeletons, you pile up the wins. This deck is ridiculously good for ladder. Like, subscribe for more daily content, and have an incredible rest of your day.